What do you grow aloe vera for? For skin care, for drinks, or simply because it is one of those plants that is easy to keep alive, low maintenance, and almost any home can grow in a pot? But few people notice that aloe vera is not only useful inside the house, it can also become a small support for the garden, especially during the stages when plants are stressed around the root zone. If you cut open a mature aloe vera leaf, inside is a clear gel that helps the plant hold water and survive through long periods of hot, dry weather. That same gel is why many people use aloe vera as a gentle support for newly transplanted plants, repotted plants, or plants stressed by summer heat. But that low-dependence way of living is exactly what makes aloe vera special in the eyes of many gardeners. Its thick leaves help it store water, handle heat, and protect itself better than many softer, more delicate plants. Aloe vera does not replace fertilizer, compost, mulch, or pest control sprays. But when used at the right time, it can gently support plant recovery, especially when the problem starts around the root zone. When we garden, we often get used to buying another product whenever a plant has a problem. If the plant looks weak, we add a support fertilizer. If the soil is not doing well, we add a soil amendment. If pests show up, we reach for another spray bottle. Each item on its own may not seem too expensive, but over the course of a whole summer, the money spent on these small fixes is often more than we think. Meanwhile, sometimes there is already a very cheap, very easy-to-grow plant sitting right in the corner of the yard, one that barely needs much care at all. And if you use it the right way, it may help you depend a little less on some of the inputs you usually have to buy from outside. What I like about aloe vera is that it does not feel like it is forcing plants to grow fast. It feels more like a gentle support step for plants that are struggling, not a strong growth formula. And in this video, I want to show you how many gardeners use aloe vera to support the root zone during the stages when plants are most likely to become stressed. Not through magic, but by using it in the right place, at the right time, and without overdoing it. Why do plants wilt, even when the soil is still moist? One of the most common things you see in the middle of summer is a plant wilting at noon, but when you touch the soil, it is not completely dry yet. This happens a lot with tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, or raised beds sitting in strong sun. At that point, the problem is not only about a lack of water. In many cases, the root system is the first part that is under stress. When soil temperatures get too high, or moisture keeps changing between waterings, young roots are often the first part to become stressed. The plant starts taking up water less efficiently. Mineral uptake becomes unstable, and midday wilting can appear even when the soil is still moist. This is why many people add more fertilizer, but the plant still does not improve. If the roots are working poorly, the plant cannot use nutrients efficiently, even if there is still food available in the soil. Especially during weeks of constant heat, the soil surface in raised beds or dark-colored containers can heat up very quickly. The dry, harsh top layer in the afternoon makes the root zone go through repeated temperature swings throughout the day. In that situation, the plant does not necessarily need another strong fertilizer. What it needs first is for the root zone to become stable again, so it can take up water more normally. That is where many people start trying aloe vera as a gentle support. Not to feed the plant into explosive growth, but to help the plant get through that stress period more gently. The simplest method is to cut a mature aloe vera leaf, scoop out the gel inside and mix it with water before applying it around the root zone. If possible, use fresh-cut leaves instead of bottled aloe gels that contain added fragrance or preservatives. Once you cut the leaf open, you will notice that the gel inside is very slippery and holds water extremely well. That is also why many people like using it as a gentle support solution for plants dealing with instability around the roots. Many gardeners use about 2 tablespoons of fresh aloe gel per gallon of non-chlorinated water. Then stir or lightly blend it so the gel mixes more evenly into the water. If you are using tap water, you can let it sit out for about a day before mixing. This solution does not need to be thick. In fact, making it too concentrated can sometimes create the opposite effect during hot, humid summer weather. Some people use overly concentrated gel because they think more is better. But in hot and humid summer conditions, thick aloe gel can sometimes make the soil around the roots feel more suffocated instead of more stable. That is why it is better to think of aloe vera as a gentle support watering. It should blend into the water and soak through the root zone, not sit as a thick layer around the base of the plant. I also do not use it every day. Usually, I only use it after plants have been repotted, newly transplanted into the ground, or after they have gone through a strong heat wave. What plants should you use it on, and when? This solution is commonly used for newly transplanted plants, recently repotted plants, or raised beds stressed after long periods of extreme summer heat. These are the stages when plants often slow down even though the leaves are still green. One of the most common examples is a tomato plant that has just been transplanted into the ground but sits there without growing for days, or a pepper plant that was recently repotted and starts developing soft, droopy leaves at midday, even though it looked healthy earlier in the morning. I usually keep a few 5-gallon buckets of water sitting out on the patio for about 24 hours before mixing the solution. If you are using tap water, this simple step helps make the water gentler before using it around plants and the root zone. The best time to use it is early in the morning, while you are drinking your coffee and the garden is still cool, or later in the evening when the sun has dropped behind the fence and the soil is finally starting to cool down. The soil should also already be slightly moist before using it. If the soil is dry and hard, water normally first before thinking about adding any support solution. One very important thing is not to expect explosive growth after a single watering. Real gardening is usually much slower than the miracle gardening videos you see online. More realistic signs are that the plant stays less droopy, the leaves hold themselves up better, or the plant stops declining so quickly after a heat wave. Those are usually much more trustworthy changes than a plant suddenly exploding with growth overnight. The conditions that actually make aloe vera work. Aloe vera will not create results on its own if the environment around the roots is still too unhealthy. If the soil is compacted, overheated, or stays dry for too long, aloe gel cannot fix everything. The first thing is that soil moisture still needs to stay relatively stable. The soil should not become dry and crumbly, but it also should not stay soaking wet for days at a time. The second thing is that the soil needs oxygen. If the soil is dense, compacted, or holds too much water for too long, the root zone will continue to stay stressed no matter what solution you add. A layer of mulch is also very important. Mulch helps lower soil temperature, keeps moisture more stable, and reduces the harsh drying that often happens around midday. And sometimes, basic things like watering at the right time, giving temporary shade during heat waves, or reducing soil surface temperatures matter more than any special formula. Aloe vera only becomes meaningful when those foundations are already reasonably stable. Helping potted plants hold light moisture. Another use of aloe vera gel is to help lightly hold moisture for a short time in areas that dry out very quickly. This can be especially useful for plants in small pots, terracotta pots, or sunny raised beds. The reason is that the gel contains many polysaccharides, the compounds that give aloe vera its slippery texture and water-holding ability. This quality helps the aloe vera solution stay around a little longer than plain water after watering. Of course, aloe vera does not replace mulch or a proper watering system, but on hot days it may help the root zone stay a little more stable between waterings. Supporting new plant cuttings. Some gardeners like using aloe vera gel when propagating cuttings. They dip the base of the cutting into a thin layer of gel before placing it into a moist growing medium. Part of the reason is that aloe vera gel contains amino acids and many natural biological compounds that plants are already familiar with. This helps the cut area avoid drying out too quickly during the first few days after propagation. Aloe vera gel is not a strong rooting hormone like specialized products, but for many home gardeners, it is a simple and easy-to-find option, helping foliar sprays cover leaves more evenly. Aloe vera gel also commonly appears in homemade foliar spray recipes, not because it is a pesticide, but because it can help the solution spread more evenly across the leaf surface. Part of this effect is connected to the natural saponins found in aloe vera. These compounds help water spread out more evenly instead of forming droplets that quickly run off onto the ground. That is why many gardeners mix a very small amount of aloe vera into compost tea or other gentle biological solutions. The goal is to improve coverage, not to make the solution stronger. Supporting plants after repotting or transplanting. After repotting or transplanting into the ground, plants often go through root zone disturbance. Young roots are easily damaged, and the soil around the root system has not yet had time to settle back into balance. Aloe vera gel contains a large amount of water along with polysaccharides that give it a light, slippery texture. When diluted properly, this characteristic allows the solution to interact more gently around the root zone instead of passing through as quickly as plain water. That is why aloe vera works best as a support step after transplanting, not as a powerful growth booster. The goal is to help the plant get through those first few days with less transplant shock, while good soil, proper watering, and shade remain the most important foundations. Supporting the soil. Microbiome around the root zone. One of the lesser-known benefits of aloe vera is its potential to indirectly support the microbial community around the root zone. This is where most of the organic matter breakdown and nutrient cycling in the soil actually takes place. Aloe vera gel contains water, simple sugars, and organic compounds that break down much more easily than coarse materials like woody stems or dry leaves. Because of this, it can blend more easily into the biological environment around the roots when used in moderation. Very common mistakes. The first mistake is using the gel too thick. If you squeeze thick aloe vera gel directly around the base of the plant, the sticky layer can clump on the soil surface, making water harder to soak through evenly and causing the root zone to feel more suffocated. The second mistake is using it when the soil is already dry and hard. When a plant is severely lacking water, the first thing it still needs is clean water, cooler soil temperatures, and a less stressed root zone. The third mistake is using aloe vera as a replacement for mulch, compost, or proper watering. Aloe vera is only a gentle support. The real foundation is still loose soil, organic matter, stable moisture, and soil that is not constantly overheating. The fourth mistake is treating aloe vera like a pesticide. It may offer mild support in some natural garden solutions, but it is not something that makes aphids, pests, or plant diseases disappear after a single use. And the final mistake is believing that because something is natural, you can use as much of it as you want. In gardening, even gentle inputs like compost tea, fish emulsion, or aloe vera still need to be used in moderation while paying attention to how the plant responds. The most valuable thing about aloe vera is not turning it into another super fertilizer. It is learning how to use a readily available resource to support plants at the right time, especially when the root system is stressed by heat, transplanting, or rapid moisture changes. If your garden has heavily compacted soil, lacks mulch, has inconsistent watering, or constantly overheated soil surfaces, aloe vera will not fix everything. But if the soil foundation is already reasonably healthy, it can become a gentle, inexpensive, and easy-to-use support during sensitive stages of plant growth. One aloe vera leaf cannot replace compost, mulch, or proper watering practices. But in a garden where you pay attention and observe closely, it may help plants get through stressful periods a little more smoothly. And sometimes, sustainable gardening does not begin with buying another new product. It begins with understanding where the plant is actually under stress, then using the right tool at the right time with more realistic expectations.